Right, and for a broader understanding of Defence Minister's statements and India's indigenous power, we are joined by Mr. Alok Bansal, who is the Director of India Foundation. Welcome, Mr. Bansal. Appreciate you giving us your precious time. Prime Minister Modi gave a stern message to Pakistan in the morning, and then Defence Minister said that India could have done much more, and those residing in the POK are India's own people, while India exercised restraint during Operation Sindoor. Tell us, Mr. Bansal, how big and strong are these statements by the Prime Minister and then by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh?
See, firstly, let there be no doubt that we have given a very, very clear message to not only Pakistan but to international community as far as the defense capabilities of India are concerned. And I think Pakistan was taught a lesson by Op Sindoor. And we have come out with a new doctrine by which any terror attack will be considered as an act of war. Having done that, I think what was significant during this particular operation was that we showed and exhibited extreme restraint. We could have actually gone on for a longer period, and Pakistan's ability, both economic as well as military, would have withered away completely. But we showed excessive restraint because we did not wish to escalate the conflict. Our purpose was only to target the terrorists initially and their infrastructure. And when Pakistan retaliated to target their military infrastructure with barest minimum collateral damage. And that's what we achieved. The precision strike carried out by Indian weapon systems at Pakistani airports, runways, hangars, air defense radars, air defense systems very clearly highlighted the effectiveness of Indian weapons, especially those that were made in India.
Yes.
And during this conflict, BrahMos missiles, which is, as it is considered, one of the best in their category, showed exemplary results. Akash surface-to-air missile and Akash Tir systems performed immensely well. There were indigenously built drones which also proved their worth. And it is in this light that we need to understand what Raksha Mantri said when he said that POK will of its own volition join India, because a lot of people wanted that India should have gone whole hog and captured. What he wanted to say was that we do not wish to capture it militarily. The people of this region for quite some time have been agitating to join India. They have been agitating against Pakistani occupation. And I think in due course of time, the people of this region will rise up against Pakistani control and voluntarily join India.
Mr. Bansal, also, since we are talking about Operation Sindoor, Defence Minister also said that through Operation Sindoor, it has been proved that Make in India is important for the national security, and termed the execution model for AMCA program to build fifth generation fighter aircraft in India as a bold and decisive step. You think it will take the domestic aerospace sector to greater heights?
See, there is no doubt. I think there was a period in independent India when we actually allowed this system to languish. After Marut till Tejas came out, there was a long gap when this sector somehow did not attain its rightful position, because we had started well, and I think somewhere we lost the thing. And now with this fifth generation aircraft, we will achieve excellence as far as global aerospace industry is concerned. This will create immense number of jobs, because there are so many vendors who will be created for supplying various smaller items and parts. Of course, what Op Sindoor showed was that it is your indigenous capability which matters, because there are limitations on import, what you can import. There are problems of assembly lines, there are problems of logistic supply, but your indigenous industry actually provides you a perpetual supply line, and which actually allows you to pursue a conflict even for longer durations if required. And I think this realization dawned because we saw indigenous systems performing exemplary well during this time. And this was actually the first baptism by fire as far as many of these weapon systems were concerned, especially like Akash and BrahMos, which not only got baptized by fire, but also I think global community saw them and saw their efficacy, as well as many private sector entrepreneurs who had actually devised number of drones which were effectively used during this conflict, they also came of age, and they actually showed their mettle in times of war.
Mr. Bansal, also over the years, India has strengthened its defense system, giving priority to indigenous weapons, like you are also saying, and the country is manufacturing state-of-the-art weapons with its own technology without depending much on other nations. How significant is that? And also, if you can give us the sense of how is the future weaponry planned?
See, there is no doubt that we have given enormous emphasis on indigenization. And in fact, Prime Minister Modi's Make in India was primarily premised on defense sector. And in fact, he welcomed even foreign investors to come and invest in India and set up production facilities in India. He even allowed 100% of FDI in certain select sectors. Having said that, I think what has transformed in last few years is that the moving of private sector into this particular sector. Because in the past, this was seen as a closed sector where only public sector units ventured. And public sectors have traditionally had their own inefficiencies. Now private sector is moving, and moving in a big way. I think there are Tatas, Mahindras, Reliance. They have set up many defense industries. In fact, other companies are also moving in. We have seen shipyards, we have seen aircraft building facilities, we have seen guns, armored vehicles. So everything and anything now private sector has moved in. So that is actually a transformative change, because private sector has the dynamism, and I think very soon you'll find that not only most of India's requirements will be met by indigenous industry, but this indigenous industry will start exporting. We have already seen some of our equipment being exported. We have seen BrahMos and many other Drove, etc. have been exported. But in times to come, India will emerge as a major defense exporting hub.
Absolutely. The way we are going, India will be among the world's strongest nations in terms of defense power in the coming years. We'll leave it at that. Thank you, Mr. Bansal, for your time.